Welcome to 7 Powerful Women in History. This list consists of personal preference and will rank them not only in political power, but world influence as well. There are many great women to choose from, but let's begin with number 7. Empress Cixi. Empress Cixi was a regent who effectively ruled China in the late years of the Qin dynasty for 47 years from 1861 until her death in 1908. She overhauled the corrupt bureaucracy and supported anti-Western attitudes, to include the Boxer Rebellion. Under her rule, China oversaw many technological and military reforms, as well as the self-strengthening movement. Number 6. Queen Victoria. Born Alexandrina Victoria, Queen Victoria was the ruler of the British Empire from 1837 until her death in 1901. She ruled a vast empire stretching across 6 continents for 63 years, making her the second longest reign in the UK's history. Under her rule, slavery was abolished in all British colonies, along with voting rights granted to most British men. Her reforms had significant impact on cultural, political, and military changes throughout her empire. With a rule as definitive as hers, it's no surprise that her rule became known as the Victorian era. Number 5. Cleopatra. Cleopatra was the last pharaoh of Ptolemaic Egypt from 51 BC to 30 BC. Romanticized for her superior intelligence, she oversaw the building of various religious temples while improving her country's standing and economy for 21 years. Though popularized in modern culture for her love affairs with Roman leaders Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, it doesn't take less from her rule until she took her own life around August 12, 30 BC. Number 4. Joan of Arc. Known as the Maid of Orleans, Joan of Arc was a French heroine in her role in the 100 Years' War. Joan claimed to have mystical visions of Archangel Michael, along with other saints, to support Charles VII and take back France from English dominion. After winning battles, including a major one at Orleans, she was eventually captured by French nobles siding with the English and burned at the stake on May 30, 1431, at just 19 years of age. She was later canonized in 1920 and became one of the 9 secondary patron saints of France. Though short-lived, Joan's influence and fighting spirit gives her a proper spot on the list. Number 3. Forte Ujin. Forte Ujin, or simply known as Forte, was the wife of Genghis Khan and Empress of the Mongolian Empire. Though little historical facts are known, she was described as having fair complexion with light in her face and fire in her eyes. She was senior and first wife of Temujin, who was later crowned Grand Empress after Temujin became the Great Khan. Forte was Genghis's most trusted advisor, often ruling the Mongol homeland when the Khan was at war. The Mongolian Empire would come to be the largest contiguous land empire in history. No doubt that not even a man like Genghis Khan could accomplish this without a woman like Forte. Number 2. Maria Theresa of Austria. Born Maria Theresa Walburga Amelia Christina, Maria Theresa was the only female ruler of the Habsburg dominion and the last of the House of Habsburg. She controlled large parts of Europe to include Austria, Hungary, Croatia, Bohemia, and parts of Italy for 40 years. Maria had 16 children, to include 2 queens and 2 Holy Roman emperors. During her reign, she oversaw reforms in medicine, law, economy, and education, building the Royal Academy of Science and Literature. Her reforms also strengthened the Austrian military, nearly doubling its size. Number 1. Queen Elizabeth I. Dubbed the Virgin Queen, Elizabeth was one of the most powerful English monarchs ever. She claimed her throne in 1558 at the age of 25 until her death 44 years later. Her reign oversaw multiple wars like the Anglo-Spanish War and the 9 Years' War. Her most famous military achievement was her victory over the Spanish Armada. Though struggles due to war cost and damage to economy will continue until the end of her reign, Elizabeth as a monarch encouraged major cultural changes like the Renaissance and the transformation of England into a Protestant country. With so many great women in current times in history, I'm sure we missed a lot. Who's your favorite woman influence throughout history? Let me know who would be in your list in the comments below.